Hi, my name is Josh Borisoff and I'm with Hipshot products. In this video, we're going to examine the concept of staggered post tuners. We're going to answer the questions: what are staggered post tuners? When is it advantageous to use staggered post tuners? And when is it better to use traditional tuners? We're also going to take a look at Hipshot's grip lock option. We're going to examine how to set it up and how to use it correctly. Let's start by taking a look at this PRS Tremonti guitar. As you can see, there's a lot of angle that the strings take as they go over the nut. This is called break angle. This is especially evident when you take a look at the straight edge here. On most guitars like this, the break angle is achieved by using two separate pieces of wood that are joined here at this location to cause that angle. Now let's compare that level of break angle with that of this Fender Squier. Now on this guitar, which is the Fender style, the headstock is practically parallel with the neck itself. That's because they make it out of one single piece of wood. In addition, all of the tuners are arranged on the low side, the bass side of the headstock. This results in break angle that varies between strings. You have a lot of high break angle, a high level of break angle at the low E string, and then it gradually shallows. You can see if I lay my straight edge here, there is practically no break angle at all on the high E string. So why is break angle important? Well, when a string touches a surface, like for instance the nut of a guitar, it needs a certain amount of force against that surface to prevent the string from buzzing when it vibrates. Now, on steep break angle instruments, like our PRS Tremonti here, there is enough break angle and enough downward pressure to allow the string to have solid contact against the nut, hence no nut buzz. However, on our Fender Squier instrument here, there's almost no break angle at the high E string, and there's gradually more break angle as you move down, but on those higher strings, there's pretty much nothing to prevent the string from buzzing. In addition, and keep in mind that this is somewhat exaggerated, if I were to pick the high E string very hard like this, I can actually make it jump out of the nut. That would be a pretty bad take, wouldn't it? Now, the traditional solution has been to use a string tree, similar to the one that I'm installing right now. Now, string trees work because they do increase the amount of string tension. However, there are problems. You see, when a string tree is added, it does two things. Number one, it adds too much break angle at the nut. Number two, it creates a secondary break angle at the string tree itself. This results in what's called stiction. This is where the string binds up on points of contact. When the string rubs against a surface, like the string tree and the nut, the string binds up at those points and stores tension. When the string is pulled along these surfaces, like during a bend or when you're using the tremolo, the string moves along these surfaces but then doesn't move back all the way because of the friction. This results in less string tension in the playing area and more string tension at the headstock, basically causing your guitar to come back flat. Essentially, the string tree is causing your headstock to hold excess tension that would be better served in the rest of the guitar. It's acting as a very nice band-aid for the nut buzz problem, but it's introducing other ones. Fortunately, there's a more elegant solution. On the workbench here in front of you, we have four different types of tuners. We have the Hipshot Classic Closed Tuner here. We have the Hipshot Classic Open Gear Tuner here. We have the Hipshot Grip Lock Closed Tuner here, and we have the Hipshot Grip Lock Open Tuner here. What do these four different types of tuners have in common? They're all arranged in our staggered post configuration. By that I mean, each tuner, each pair of tuners actually, is slightly taller than the last. And by that I mean the distance from the center of the string post hole here to the body of the tuner is slightly higher on these two than it is on these and on these. You can kind of see that. These are 20 millimeters from the top of the string post hole, from the center of the string post hole, to the body of the tuner. That's with this one as well, 20. This one is 19 from the center of the string post hole to the body of the tuner. This one's 19 as well. This one is 18 from the center of the string post hole to the body of the tuner, 18 as well. In essence, their heights are staggered. Of course, we also offer all of these tuners in our conventional post, which means that all of the string posts are the same height. But since this video is about staggered post, let's go ahead and install some. I'm going to go ahead and install these Open Gear Grip Lock tuners. While I'm installing tuners on this guitar, I'd like to talk about Hipshot's grip lock tuner option. The grip lock tuner differs from our classic tuner in the fact that it has a thumb wheel that's coupled to a free-floating pin inside of the string post. When I loosen the thumb wheel, the string post is opened up essentially by the dropping of the pin, allowing me to insert the string. Once I tighten the string post again, the pin clamps down on the string and effectively locks it. Here's how to properly use it. The first thing you want to do is ensure that the thumb screw is loose. This will release the pin and allow you to insert the string. Next, you go ahead and insert your string and pull it tight with your free hand. You don't have to pull it super tight. Then, with your other hand, tighten up the thumb screw. And I was turning it the wrong way. There we go. And just get it finger tight. You don't have to go nuts. There we go. And then you seat the string and bring it up to pitch. While doing this, you minimize the number of windings and effectively capture the string. So what's so great about that? Well, when you have a lot of windings on your string post, essentially those windings are rubbing together. This is basically stiction. It's especially problematic for people who have tremolos because as you're using your tremolo, you're increasing and decreasing the tension on the string. This causes the windings to rub together and store excess tension that they can release later at weird times, making your guitar go out of tune. Of course, the natural incentive is to decrease the number of windings on your tuner, which is fine until you reduce them too much, and then suddenly the string slips out and you don't have a string anymore. Now, the grip lock tuner captures that string and allows you to have no windings at all. Having no windings means the strings aren't rubbing together, and it means no chance for stiction at the tuning peg. Now that the tuners are installed, let's take a look at the configuration. First, you'll notice that there are no string trees. With our staggered posts installed, the break angle has been adjusted for each string by the tuners themselves. You can see that the shortest tuners, the 18mm, are here on the highest strings. The 19mm are on the two middles, and the 20mm are on the 5th and 6th strings. This provides a gentle ramping up, allowing us to have a break angle that's tuned specifically for each individual string. Now, most importantly though, we've eliminated these string trees, so we don't have any locking points or stiction points that will prevent our strings from returning to pitch once we bend. Also, remember that trick I showed you where the string jumped out of the nut? Doesn't really work so well anymore. There wasn't a big change here, but it was just enough to eliminate that. So let's recap. Number one, if you have a guitar with a lot of break angle at the nut, you're probably going to be fine with a conventional post. You probably don't need staggered post. Number two, if you have a guitar with very little break angle at the nut, a very shallow break angle, and you're finding that you have a hard time staying in tune, especially after bends, then the staggered post might be a very good option for you. Number three, the grip lock option is advantageous because it locks the string in place and reduces the number of windings. In fact, it eliminates them. Having no windings means that you don't have any tension stored there and you have a more stable guitar with better tuning accuracy. I hope this video has been very helpful to you. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please feel free to call us or email us at info@hipshotproducts.com. Thank you.